general reading for March 2021. I have with me today the Radiant Right deck. We will be clarifying with Levita Sibila, and I will be wrapping the reading up, with a angel answer card. Okay, I've already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, and we'll get started with the reading. I want to thank you guys for your patience. I've been dealing with PayPal since February 26th, trying to understand why it is that my site would not redirect back after payment was made. And I finally, through my website tutor, we figured out a workaround. So I've got to do a couple more products to work out that redirect. But other than that, the site is up and running. So here we go. Gonna put the camera down there. And as I said, I've already done a bit of shuffling and meditation on your sign. And so we're just gonna go ahead and lay the cards. I want to put one more rifle on these. I don't know about you, but March has a strange energy to it, a strange vibe. So we shall see. The 10 of Wands. Oh, wow. The 10 of Cups. Not bad, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh, wow. The 10 of Pentacles. So right off the bat, there are changes. Now, let me get the rest of the cards down, okay? The 4 of Swords. So some of you have really been doing the most. The 3 of Cups. Huh, that's nice. Well, the 5 of Wands. There we are, the Queen of Wands. Now, excuse me, I always cough before I sneeze, and I don't know why that is. I'll explain this Queen in just a second. The Page of Cups. Excuse me. And then we have a 7 of Wands. And what is over the entire reading? We have the 3 of Hearts, 3 of Swords. Well, that's an odd energy, kind of a thing. Let's see here. There are no major arcana cards, so this is really on a mundane level, everyday life, just stuff you may be dealing with. I have 1, 2, 3 Wands, 1, 2, 3 Cups, a Swords, and a Pentacle. I don't count the Court card because these typically represent people. And what I was going to say when I first put the card down is whether you are male or female, okay, we all can embody the masculine and the feminine aspects of ourselves. Typically, when if you are masculine and if you are male, or you identify with the male role but you show up as a queen, this is simply speaking to the more receptive side of yourself, okay, the more nurturing and the more caring side of yourself. It in no way has anything to do with your sexual orientation or preferences. Typically, the Queen of Wands is a businesswoman, would be an entrepreneur, or someone who may be highly involved with volunteer work and activism. Dynamic, passionate, can be a bit headstrong, always quick to act in some ways. But I think what I find to be most interesting are these 3 10s at the top. Now, in numerology, or rather in the tarot, the numerology of the tarot, 10s always represent the end of a cycle. And it speaks about new beginnings, about starting. In other words, you've been all the way through from the ace all the way up, and now you're at the end of this cycle. Wands represent your passion and energy, what your desires. In other words, what gets you up out of bed in the morning? What do you absolutely love to do? What does it take to get up and do the things that you have to do every day? The cups are really representative of an emotional quotient surrounding the situation. Is it extremely happy? Is it sad? Is it kind of so? How are the emotions affected or coming into play? And the pentacles are representative of not just a financial situation, but also how and what you are doing and the manner in which you are doing those things. I will tell you that the Ten of Pentacles presents two ways. It will present, actually three ways. It presents as a situation, say you have a family business, right? You're part of a family business. Maybe it's been in the family for generations, right? And this is about everybody playing their part, everybody doing what they're supposed to do so that everyone in the group or the family can prosper. It implies the idea of having been around or knowing people for a long time. This also works in a career setting. So you've been working at the same job or the same business or corporation for 20, 25 plus years. You know, everybody does their weight, everybody knows, and then everybody gets things done. Everybody's able to, to produce. And then lastly, the Ten of Pentacles represents an inheritance, okay, of some sort or some kind. Now, this could literally be an inheritance in terms of money, or it can be an inheritance in terms of property or something left or given to you in whatever manner an inheritance. I mean, it could even represent things like paintings and pictures and land and cars, furniture, clothes, those types of things, the third dimensional aspect things. But you have three threes here, Leo. And so let me read to you what the three threes actually mean. I'm sorry, the three tens actually mean. I'm not feeling too well, and I have a lot of work to get done. So, three tens suggest arguments over money matters. Okay? That's exactly what I thought it was. Two tens speak to a career change or a change of finances for the better. Okay? Now that is one interpretation of three threes. The other meaning of the three tens, I don't know why that I keep coming up. It says difficult times are coming to an end. So this would explain this Three of Swords here. The Three of Swords is a card of emotional pain or mental pain. In other words, somebody said something or did something maybe that hurt your feelings. Maybe they slandered you in some way, or they gossiped about you, or they stabbed you in the back, and you are really quite hurt about this. I have also seen the Three of Swords show up when there's some kind of message that comes through. But the message always leaves a feeling of maybe not necessarily bitterness, although that could be a part of it. This feeling of being betrayed. That's betrayal. That is the word that I'm looking for. Now, what this shows me is that you have been striving and struggling for quite some time to either achieve something or go. I've seen this card show up like when you've been trying to buy a house or a piece of property, but things have just been falling through. But basically, this is the idea of really just working and putting your nose to the grindstone and getting things done. You're not even looking where you're going. You're just putting one foot in front of the other. Maybe you do that because of your family and your family ties and connections, because this card represents the idea of Saturn and Pisces. And this is about the idea of, for lack of a better term, martyring yourself for the greater good. But yet you can see that everyone has everything that they need. There's a danger with this particular card because we have these 10 cups and a rainbow. And we know that rainbows are illusory. They really don't exist. So sometimes this could be about the idea of working like a dog and slaving away for a life that really is not attainable, okay? For lack of a better term. Finally, I just explained the 10 of Pentacles to you. Now, what I'm reading is past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. We start out with this great change. Whatever this was, I think it changed for you, and it changed quite rapidly. Perhaps there was some disappointment in it. Perhaps there was some sorrow. Maybe it didn't turn out the way that you wanted. Maybe it didn't. You didn't attain as much as you wanted to. Maybe there was great cost and great sacrifice to reach this particular stage. but nevertheless, you should pat yourself on the back because you did it. And I see here that for some of you, you really had to take a time of break. And if you haven't, you should. This card is about removing yourself from a situation so that you can gain a bit of clarity. This is not only about the idea of mental rest, it is also the idea of physically resting your body, taking yourself away from physically removing yourself so that you don't have to deal with all the extraneous information or white noise. Obviously, there was something great about this and there was something to celebrate. But then we see this idea of this Five of Wands and the whole thing about fighting over money matters. This is definitely true. Fives also speak to the idea of ups and downs and changes. So we go from from a 10 to a 5, right? So that means that you got half of those things done, or you focused on half of those things, but now that you've achieved all 10, other people want to come in and, I don't know, interfere or cause problems or try to put their 2 cents worth in terms of what you should do with all of this growth and abundance. Now, I'm not necessarily picking up that this is another person, but it very well could be someone connected to your group or family, okay? Perhaps it was the 2 of you, so this could be 2 people, both you and someone else that you may be dealing with who may be a fire sign or a business individual. But then again, we also see this Page of Cups. So this tells me that there's another message coming, okay? It is a message that will catch you by surprise emotionally. Why? Because it's a cup and there's a fish that pops out of that. So this is like the idea that whatever the news or the message is, it comes as a surprise. It affects you on an emotional level, and you're kind of swimming around like a fish out of water. You don't quite know what to do. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing or a negative thing, but however, what it does do is it places you in a position where you got to get up and kind of fight. You got a lot of things coming at you at one time. But what I always like about this card is that it implies that you are in a better position than you realize because you are up above the fray, okay? You're not down in the pit with the rest of those trying to fight like over here. And what this is, it is some type of decision, okay? There's a choice that has to be made about something. I don't know what this is, all right? Choices, the reason how I'm picking this up is from the 5 to the 7 gives me 2 wands. The number 2 always represents a choice, an option, an opposition, a duality, and a crossroads, okay? And when I say opposition, this could be you being opposed against yourself in terms of what you should do or what you shouldn't do. But it can also represent the idea of someone actively opposing whatever your plans are. Okay? It implies that at the moment, this sevens are a moment of pause. 7 is a moment of isolation, self-doubt, and self-questioning. Okay, so it's kind of like a number of stillness. You may actually be up doing things, and you may feel like you are all alone and you are isolated. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Something else that I'm picking up is that whomever this group of people are, be it family or business, and this really reads like it's some kind of windfall or inheritance that comes in, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you won the lotto, or maybe you retired and you have a great stock portfolio and now you're able to do all of the things that you want to do, okay? But I get the sense that there is someone contained in your group who waits a bit. It's kind of like maybe you don't hear from them. But remember now, swords are thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communications. We go from the 3 to the 4 that gives us an ace. Aces are the excessive degree of everything. So this could be the idea of having to kind of take up mental arms to battle out, or present you with an opportunity to clear the slate and come up with fresh new ideas. And maybe that's what this is telling me. It is this 3 of Cups. however, that sits between these two that I find to be quite interesting. But what I want to know is, what is this 5 all about? Actually, what I want to know as well is, what is this Page of Cups, the message, the news? Okay? Because there's a slow, from the 10 to the 3 gives us 7 cups, which can imply confusion, lots of choices, not knowing exactly what to do. And so this could be the idea of why there could be this fighting and interference here. So I'm going to first look at this page. And again, from the 3 to the page leaves me 2 cups. Okay, 2 sets of emotions, or feeling 2 different things about a choice that has to come up. Della nemica. The Gran Signore. And the Vedovo. Well, that is quite... Remember I said it's someone in this group. I don't know who this person is, and I cannot tell you based upon the card of the L'Amica, and I will explain why that is in just a second. Let's take a look at this 5 of Wands here. The Limineo. Ha! Di Dinari. Holy shit. Excuse my language. And the Fortuna. This is literally about some new kind of financial contract that has come in, like it has fallen into your lap. Okay? The thing is, remember, this is not only you. If this is happening to you, you got a lot on your plate you're going to have to deal with. But remember, I said it's also another person who is attached, perhaps in a friendly manner, to this group. So it could be a friend, an acquaintance, a cousin, an aunt, a niece, a sister, a sibling. It is someone who is in your group. Let me put it that way. However, the La Nemica is quite a different energy than the Il Nemico. The Il Nemico says this is a known enemy, and typically it will be a male. The La Nemica is a female enemy, but it is someone who pretends to be your friend when she's really not. The fact that she shows up here with this Gran Signore could be that she may be trying to take your spouse or your partner. This could even be your business partner, that this contract is coming up. She's trying to undermine you, okay? Because she's jealous and she's spiteful. So let me read to you this La Nemica card. And so this is a warning. The cards are warning you that this person is in your midst. The person will seem very, very nice. I don't know if this is somebody associated with him from his past because of where she falls. But let me... she is the Queen of Swords, or the Queen of Spades. She is the rival. This is a very negative card. Let me explain. Because the Il Nemico represents known enemy, this card represents unknown enemies, therefore making it a stronger, more worse card by far than the male counterpart. The woman depicted holds a weapon, a poniard, and has no qualms about using it because she's a backstabber. It depicts someone who is already attacked in real life, and it can also indicate someone who is about to attack. It represents someone in whom we trust, but who secretly wants to betray us. It is someone who wears a mask of helpfulness and nicety so that you will lower your defenses and let her in on the secrets and trust. She will then use her knowledge to inflict great pain upon you. There is a fundamental difference to this card than there is the Il Nemico, because the Il Nemico indicates a declared enemy and someone that you already suspect or dislike, whereas this card, okay, means that you don't know who the person is. She's wearing a mask. As you can see, she's holding a mask in her hand. It will indicate ferocious gossip and slander and unfriendliness from someone who has made it their life's work to destroy your reputation and will stop at nothing until you succeed. In love, it points to betrayal and someone who wants you to break up with your spouse, usually so that they can get with the person. But it can also represent an obnoxious ex-wife girlfriend with an axe to grind. It represents someone with serious emotional baggage and with grave negativity in their aura. The woman is greedy, wicked, and extremely ruthless. Generally, this represents false advice given with the malicious intention of leading you down the wrong path so that this person can benefit in return. It indicates dissolution, vice, misogynist attitudes, danger from unknown sources, and all forms of perversion, and anything that goes against the greater good. It gives a serious warning to you that danger is lurking in an environment that it is already part of your daily life. This could be with leisure activities, friends, or family. This danger comes in the form of someone who nurtures a great deal of hatred towards you and will be difficult to unmask. Financially, it warns of danger and treachery. This person could be a colleague or loan shark, or it can represent a contract with sneaky hidden clauses, someone who wants to obtain money by deception, fraud, and or money laundering. Okay? Now, I would take it, particularly here with the Vedevo on the back side, that this person is either the La Nemica, is either someone from the Gran Signore's past, or this is someone, maybe you are doing business, because sometimes a Gran Signore simply can represent someone who is of a high status, is in the know and can help you and assist you in some way, particularly in a business standpoint. Right introductions. Maybe it could be a person who runs a bank and you're trying to get loans or figure out how to invest. Okay? But this on the backside tells me that this person is trying to affect this person, and it will affect the outcome. You're left scrambling. That Seven of Wands says so. Let me explain to you what the Vedevo means in a financial or general sense. Okay? In financial matters, it represents financial losses, dismissals, lack of money, and an unwanted business trip or location. Basically, it heralds, if this is a romantic relationship, it can herald a separation, arguments, incompatibility, rancor, resentment, and a relationship devoid of true love. In financial matters, it indicates financial collapse or an unsuccessful ending of a project that meant a lot to you. This card shows up as a situation because it entails making life-changing decisions and breaking away from something or someone. Metaphorically, it indicates estrangement, deprivation, absence, a lack of some kind, and again, moving away from a situation or a person. So I'm here to tell you, some of you may already be in this situation. For some of you, this will be coming up, perhaps starting in the next 2 weeks. And for the rest of you, this situation will play out through the month of April. It does depend upon your own personal story, what you have going on, and also relative to your own birth date, sun, moon, or rising sign. So I want you to formulate a question for the angel answer cards, and I will pull one card. Sometimes, this could speak to these two cards together, the Limoneo and the Denari, to be the idea of marrying into money. But once you do that, it creates problems in the family. And for certain, there is an enemy here. Okay? Maybe it's an ex, maybe it's an old girlfriend, maybe it's someone related to you or to him, but the person is already in your midst. You know them, you are speaking to them, you are conversating with them. You could even be feeding them and dining them at your dining room table in your fancy new home. Okay? So you need to be careful. The person will be very difficult to unmask. But the card says to remain positive. All right. Here we go. The angels are asking you to keep an optimistic attitude. This is a very positive momentum beginning to build toward the creation of your desires. You are speeding your desires along by maintaining a cheerful and confident demeanor. It may seem as though your plans are taking a long time to manifest, but very soon you will see a change. Do not allow yourself to lose hope when your dreams are so close to coming true. Now, I'm going to add a caveat to this, because if this is you being an enemy to this guy over a breakup or money or property or whatever, it's going to be much more difficult than you realize. You may be able to get in on the good fight, but you're not going to have a whole lot of help. You're going to be real busy trying to maintain this situation. So if this is you at Salanika in this situation, I would ask that you reconsider what you are doing, okay? Because it may not end well. However, if this is you in a situation where you recognize it, the cards and the Lanamika is not you, this is warning you that there's somebody in your midst who is going to cause a lot of problems for you. So, with that being said, Leo, I do hope those messages helped. Until, I want you to take care and stay safe. If you're interested in booking a reading, you can click on the eye that pops up there. Go right over to the website. All of my tarot packages are on the main menu under tarot consultations. Just simply hover your mouse and the whole thing will pull down. So until next time, stay safe and namaste.